Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Charwell. It's not Charwell Manor, just Charwell. We are, oh man, we got a lot of fields. Got a lot of fields to do with 2 tractors. I think it's going to be okay, but we definitely got a handful to deal with here. In a good way. Let's clip through that tree a little bit. We threw lime on our 4, I guess the 4 fields to the north. Good way to describe them. We threw lime on those. We're getting that lime cultivated in. Well, I guess it's a subsoiled in. And we're getting, let me see, we're going to get some slurry spread today as well. Probably on these fields that we just got done turning under. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. It's a Sunday morning for me. I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say I'm under the weather, but I'm not quite 100%. I've also been fighting with this game for the past, past several hours. Hey, before we do anything else, I got a quick piece of housekeeping to take care of. It was pointed out to me that Simply Safe Mods is not run by Bullet Bill. I thought it was. It is actually run by Grizzly Bear Sims. Did I get that right? Man, that would be terrible if I was trying to clarify something that I got wrong and I got it wrong again. But yeah, I spoke in error, so mea culpa. I do apologize, and I thank you for pointing that out to me. You know, I try to get things right as often as possible. What has been going on with this game? Well, we've got there. We've got Courseplay and AI vehicle. Yeah, AI vehicle? AI helper? Oh, we've got them turned off. I ran into some kind of cursor conflict. You know, with Courseplay, you right mouse click and it gives you a cursor over top of your screen. Well, my cursor was forcing back to the center of the screen. I was not able to control it. So I was not able to use either Courseplay or AI vehicle, I want to say AI vehicle add-on. Regardless, I was not able to get it working. Had to disable those mods. Fortunately, I was able to save my save game. So I'm very happy about that. And I fired up Greenwich and everything works fine in Greenwich. So it's a corrupted XML somewhere. I went back a couple of save games. I thought maybe we could sort it out that way, but I never was able to get it working. So at the moment, we're not able to use either Courseplay or AI vehicle, and that is why we're doing this manually, and that's why we'll park up this John Deere momentarily, and we'll get some slurry going, and depending on how quickly these fields go with the slurry, we will then hop across the highway and spread some lime on the other side. And once we get done with this length here, I'll show you on the map what we've done. But yeah, I'm liking this map so far. The fields are, as I suspected, they look small, they play big, and the roads and gates and everything are tight enough that I really don't want to go with very big equipment. I think the 2 tractors that we have, and I think 3 to 4 meter equipment is going to be just right. But it is going to be kind of labor intensive, and for that reason I'm really hoping that I can get Courseplay working again, because without it, this is going to be, it's almost problematic, you know, to think about doing all of these fields manually with 3 and 4 meter equipment. I like Farm Sim. Obviously, I like Farm Sim. But there are days when you want to automate some tasks and move on to some other things. You know, you don't necessarily want to do everything manually. And sometimes, particularly with seasons, sometimes you have to do that. There's just not enough time, even on speed X1. There's not enough time to get everything done in the windows that you have to get it done. Right, so I'll tell you what, let's put that there. Let's put that there, and let's bring up a map. Yep. So we just finished subsoiling field 26 right here. Earlier off camera, I did field 27, that's right here. We still have to do 12 and 13, and then we still need to get lime. Get our cursor moving here. We still need to get lime in field 79 and 77. So let us, for the moment, let us get this parked up. Let's get some slurry going. All right, the gate clears it. Let's get some slurry going, and then we will, I don't know, we'll see if we have time to throw any lime on those other 2 fields. I'm waiting for my Waiting for my vehicle control add-on. Yeah, there it goes. Sometimes it lingers for a minute. But as the mod maker says on GitHub, I'm just doing this for me. If you got bugs, then you got bugs. But they're not calling it I guess an active mod or a full release mod. They're referring to it more as a kind of a personal work in progress. So little things like that, there's not really anything we can do about it as far as, pointing it out to the modder and then they'll fix it right up for us. It's not that kind of mod. Man, there is such a difference between 19 and 17. They're both good. And each of them in their own way is, in a way, better. I have to admit that 19 does look really good. I know it's kind of a small thing, but I really like what they did with the lights, where the lights are sort of actual lights. Seeing the lights on 17, where it's really just a corona over a light, it was the way the game was when it was released in 2016. I don't want to say it's necessarily state of the art. There were other sims with better lights in 2016, but it's the way that Farm Sim was in 2016, end of story. And they did improve it in 19, but going back to 17 and seeing that old style, the way they used to do the lights can be a little, and some of the reflections and various other things. I mean, 19 is not a bad looking game. I think for me, it's just some of the things that it brought with it. The sort of failed placeable system and terrain sculpting, just various things I feel could have been done better. So yes, you did get some things with 19. You got some progress, for lack of a better word, but in some ways you sort of took a step back. So playing the two side by side it's a very interesting experience. 17 is by no means perfect. It's a very, very good game, but it's not quite perfect. And 19 is improved in some ways, but also not perfect. So it's I don't know. I was talking to somebody this morning about gaming, and we were talking about old school games. Yeah, we'll let that run. I was working pretty hard. Dragging a subsoiler through the dirt in the spring, that's pretty hard work. I was talking to them about how gaming, particularly console gaming, some years ago, we don't need to go back to like the 70s. We don't need to go back to Pong. But I feel like even just 10 years ago or so, we had so many less options in gaming. When you, oh, by the way, like you're gonna miss this tractor. What tractor, ill will? I leased this thing. This is not part of the Class Platinum Expansion DLC, but it is by Giants. And then this thing has been out for a while. I want to say this came out for the mod contest. I could be wrong about that. And I've never used it before. I figure we use the 4D Abbey sprayer for all of our UK style maps. Let's branch out a little bit. And I did place this. It went in perfectly. I mean, there's this little sort of, it's not really a placeable area. It's too small for placeables. But it's just sort of a little, junky area. Things sort of stored over here. And I thought, what a perfect place to put our little slurry pump. Right. Let's get this thing filled up. We're going to go there. And we are instantly full. All right. I'll have to check the replay. I don't know if that thing just filled up instantly or if it was already full. If it is already full, I'm not sure how it got full because I didn't full it. You know what I mean? I didn't do that. Right. So games. Back in the day, games had a lot fewer options, but I swear they were in some ways a lot more fun. And when I think about something like, think about Mario Kart. Mario Kart's pretty old school. You didn't build a character. You got to pick from like one of 8 characters, right? And if you picked that character, that you knew what ride you were getting when you decided to use that character. End of story. And now it's like you build your character, I want my face, I want my hair, I want, you get all this stuff set up, and then you start picking your clothes and your gear and everything else. So we have all this control in gaming now. We have so many choices that we didn't have before. And I feel like in some ways, that's almost been almost like a disservice to us. No, not a disservice. That's not the right word, because that implies that someone did that, right? Like somebody made that happen. And nobody did that to us, so it can't be a disservice. I guess it's like the poet says, more money, more problems. As we've given ourselves more choices in gaming, we've given ourselves more opportunity to be disappointed. Is that right? Yeah, I think I know what I'm trying to say. I just don't know if I'm actually saying it properly. But yeah, when I look at 19, it is only because our expectations weren't met that this game is sort of flawed or broken or problematic. But the game itself is really not terrible. It was just such a letdown. And so I think a lot of games, you can perhaps look at them that way, that because our expectations are so high and because we come into so many games expecting them, whether we intend to or not, we expect them to be perhaps similar to other games, or to have the same feeling, or to make us feel the same kind of joy or happiness or whatever. You know what I mean? I might not be explaining it right. It is a Sunday morning, but I think you see what I'm getting at. If there was no farming simulator, if there had never been a farming simulator, and all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, FS19 dropped with nothing ever having come before it, I think we would be blown away by this game. It would be an absolute revelation. We'd be so happy to play it. But because of the hype, and because of our experience and because of our expectations, when 19 dropped, it was, for me anyway, just kind of a thud, just kind of a really, really disappointment. So playing the two side by side is fascinating for me right now. There are a lot of things to like about 17, but you can also, as I said earlier, you can also see some things that they improved from 17 to 19, and you can see why they did. So, and God, but there's that glare though. I don't know why they did that. I don't know what they were going for with that particular effect. That it is so, it's just so bright, so reflective. I don't know. Maybe they're showing off a little bit. They got some new technique for rendering surfaces, and they really wanted to show that they could make stainless steel and chrome and various things. I don't know. I just like playing with farm equipment. I really do. There's a nice variety in both 17 and 19, I have to say. And it's been, we're in 19. I don't want to talk on and on about 17 when we're in 19, but it's been fun tracking down those mods, those favorite mods of mine, and getting everything working. What a cool idea this is from Giants. I give them a lot of crap. I really do. And a lot of it, I have to say, they deserve. They are not exactly, in my opinion, not exactly doing everything that they should be doing. But what a cool concept to make a game where you can pretend to be a farmer. How cool is that? Very cool is the answer to my own rhetorical question. What else is going on? Let's figure out what to do with Greenwich. Let's talk about it right now. Let's figure out what to do with Greenwich, because this is, Charwell is a map made by one of my favorite map makers. It is a map that is very much in my wheelhouse as far as the types of maps that I like. It's big, but it plays kind of small. It's there's a lot going for it, but I just don't think we can do 3 maps with seasons. I think we're going to need to sort of pick our battles here, and I think, I know we're going with Western Shore and FS17, and that gives us one map for 19, and I don't know. I think this might be it. I watch a lot of YouTubers, and I try to learn from them. Don't reinvent the wheel. That's some good advice. That's wisdom as you travel through this life. Don't reinvent the wheel. See other people that have done what you're trying to do, and really just kind of do what they're doing. Make it your own. Obviously, you want to, put your own personal stamp on it, but learn from other people. I'm learning from other YouTubers, and I see YouTubers, they start a series. Doesn't matter what kind of game it is. It can be a sim game, can be can be a shooter, can be a fantasy game, RPG, whatever, doesn't matter. They start a game, it doesn't get a good response. They just never, it's never on their channel again. You know, you can look on a playlist and it'll have like 3 or 2 videos. You know, they did one, it didn't do well. I'm going to do a second one. Maybe nobody noticed. Maybe nobody noticed that I dropped that new title. And the second one didn't do well, and it's gone, and they never mention it again. So, you know, I'm very much into communication and sort of disclosure. I like to let you know what's going on with the channel. So I don't necessarily want maps to just disappear. You know, I do want to let you know what's happening and why. But at the same time, you know, if we decide to move on from Greenwich, we've done a dozen or so episodes on that farm, right? On that map. Maybe we just move on. Maybe we just move on. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, we're keeping Western Shore, and I suppose we're keeping this one. And when you put all that together, I guess that means we are getting rid of Greenwich. Not getting rid of. That's too strong a word. Makes it sound like Greenwich did something wrong. There's nothing wrong with the map. It's a great map, and I really, really like it. You know, I don't want to be a slave to novelty than any new bright shiny thing that catches my eye. You know, that's the direction we're moving in. But it really is fun to play with new maps. You know, to have a look at new maps and kind of just explore a little bit. We got a lot of episodes out of Gazelsberg, and I think where we went off the rails with Gazelsberg, honestly, is we just became that grass farm up north, our silage operation, just became unmanageable. It became too big, and we were just silage farmers, just grass farmers. So we'll try to keep it a little bit diversified here on Charwell and also on, forgot the name of it already, the Western Shore. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I think maybe I bumped my head because that's been happening more and more. I just I don't know. I forget things. I can't remember things. I don't know. It's a little bit unnerving. It is. You know, people joke about, oh, I hope it's not this, I hope it's not that. Well, sometimes it is that. Oy, that'd be terrible. There's one little bit right over here. One little bit we need to get. Like so. Let's go refill this thing. I've also been, today, I've been sort of fighting with the real dirt color mod. It's been the timing of it. I don't know, man. I feel like this whole save game is corrupted, and I'm really on the fence about just starting over. I've only got about 4 hours on this map, and I can easily, like if we were to, right now, today, you know, if I were to stop here and then just delete the save game, start again, and bring in, you know, everything that we've already done on this map, right? Bring us back to this point off camera. It would only take me a few hours. I could have it done for you before it's time to record the next episode. And if that means that we could bring back in course play and some other things, maybe that's the smart play. How did I do this before? I backed it in from the road before, but I was coming from the other direction. Why did I mention that? The real dirt color seems to be, I don't know. There've been some updates for it, and every time they update that mod, they say something to the effect of mod conflict resolved. Not so much. All right, I am gonna refill. Yeah, I don't know. I saved out a couple times with the tanker parked next to that thing. I don't know if it refilled it automatically because it was in the trigger when the game restarted, but I didn't manually fill that. It just filled, and you can see how long it's taking. So it wasn't an instant fill, as some mods have. You know, there's combine harvesters that can empty like a 16,000 liter tank in 5 seconds. You know, you can set the speed of load and unload to be anything you want. Some modders, for some reason, I think prefer it to be very, very fast. So I thought perhaps that was the case with this. That didn't seem likely because it is I want to say it's a mod contest mod. I could be wrong about that. But it seems like a mod that's had some time and thought put into it. And I find when that's the case, and when somebody's obviously put time and effort into a mod, you don't see that sort of, you don't see shenanigans. They tend to be a little bit more accurate and well thought out. Right, so we're going to head back up here. You can get over to, where are we going? Field 26. Yeah, field 26. You can get over there staying on these lanes back here. Oh, carefully. Staying on these lanes, and you don't really have to go out on the slightly bigger, it's not, I mean, I call it a highway. It's not quite a highway, but it's a bigger sort of local road to the south of us right now. We can get over to field 26. We can actually get to 13 and 12 as well without driving out on that bigger road. We can stay on these lanes that have no traffic at all. And I think, as I'm driving into the ditch, I think we're not going to have a problem getting this tanker around back here. It's big, and that's a big tractor too, but neither one of them are that big. Although, everything is relative. I forget when I'm playing this game, because we get bigger equipment. Not necessarily the biggest in the game. It's not Big Bud. It's not a Challenger or anything. Because it's bigger equipment, and we just kind of hop in it and throw it around, I forget sometimes that... Did that? Interesting. Yep, I lost my controls at some point. Something went wrong with this save game. Something's up. Something is afoot. We'll figure it out. So we buy big equipment, or bigger equipment, and then we throw it around like it's a two-door Honda. And every now and then, as I'm out and about in the real world, I will see, when I went to see Tool not too long ago, there was a great big John Deere, I want to say 8R, that I passed, parked by the side of the road. The thing is as big as a house. We've got a 6R. We were just running that subsoiler on a 6R, and it's like, that's like a compact tractor, right? It's like a riding mower. That thing's tiny, only because we're playing it in a game. But when you see that sort of equipment up close, when you see it live, it is gigantic. It's very, very big. So this tractor that we're in right now and this tanker, it may be sort of medium-sized to us as sim farmers, but the idea of taking it down some of these little country lanes and farm lanes would be, you would definitely want to keep your wits about you, because you can do some damage to a hedge or a stone wall or various other things. If you run a little wide, you know what I'm talking about. So we will go to, where are we at? We're at 23 minutes. Maybe we'll just get the headland cut in here and call it. And you can see, that draw distance. And that is maxed out. I can't push it out any further than that. But we'll get off camera. I guess I will get everything else subsoiled next episode. Let's skip forward a couple days, because it looks like it's going to snow later today. So we'll skip ahead a couple days, and when we come back, these fields may all be done. We may just have a little bit more left to do as far as prep, but we may be putting in our canola next episode. Yeah, I think that would make sense. Now we're down to 169,000 euro, and we've got, I did buy more sheep, so we've got 100 sheep. They'll start making wool. The merino, I assume it will be the same thing as on Shamrock Valley. So we should make about 40,000 euro from wool this spring. Other than that, I don't want to say that we're broke, but we've got about 200 grand to last through like the rest of the year. And that includes leasing equipment to bring the harvest in. We've got some crops, I believe, in silo that we can sell. I have to find them, because 19 is can be a little mysterious about where your actual crops are when they're in a silo. So we'll track those down. We'll get those sold. That's probably another 40,000. So I think we'll make it through the year, but I also think we need to be careful and not make any 50,000 euro mistakes, because a mistake like that is going to be, that's a quarter of our bank balance. So I want to really be kind of mindful that we don't make mistakes like that, and that we do make it through the year financially, no problem. And then when we sell crops in the fall, because these fields are so much bigger, I think we will hopefully make, 100,000 euro, 150,000. But what I want to be careful with between now and then is, the temptation is to, hey, let's buy a dairy farm, let's do this, let's do that, and next thing you know, you got a €500,000 loan out. And I really want to try to avoid that. So we've got 2 big tractors. We've got, I think everything else is leased. Yeah, we own the trailer. We own, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. We own a lot of land is what we own. So we're good there. We just need to be good financial managers for the rest of the year. And hopefully we'll be profitable by next spring. Right, time, 26 minutes. Maybe we just go till this thing's empty. Maybe we go till this field is done. I don't know which of those 2 would happen first. I don't think we're going to finish the field in 4 minutes. But I'll think of something. Hey, you know what? While I'm thinking of it, let's go down here. Let's go down here and check this out, because the sun is on the right side. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're screenshotting. Right. So go down here. Like so. Yeah, we'll just do a few more lengths, and wherever we are at 30 minutes, we'll just call it right there. But yeah, this is, I think this is working out. Now we do own that little slurry pump. It was only, I want to say, about €10,000, but we do own it, and the price that it gives you on slurry is really, really good, attractive. So I think we can stick with slurry as fertilizer for the foreseeable future and save ourselves some money. It's a lot cheaper than chemical fertilizer, pellet fertilizer, whatever. So I think that will definitely save us some money. Because I know, well, like on a map like Gazelsberg with those giant grass fields that we created, and we were spending 70, 80, 100,000 euro in a season on chemical fertilizer until we got our slurry facility installed. So it can definitely add up. And it's the fields may not be giant, but we do own a lot of them. We own a half dozen of them. So, I mean, that's going to be a lot of crop for us to bring in, but it's also a lot of things that we need to put into the ground to get things out of the ground in terms of fertilizer, seed, time, that sort of stuff. Oh dear. I thought that branch would move. It turns out it's a mighty branch. Very heroic, very strong. All right, let's go down here now. All right. Okay. Let's turn our cruise control back up. Nope, cruise control is set. There we go. Cruise control was set, it just wasn't turned on. Yeah, I lost all my controls. I reset my key bindings in an effort to bring back the movement of the mouse, movement of the cursor, and it didn't bring any kind of movement back, but I did lose my all my key bindings. Oh, game. It's always something with you. In fairness, if you want the game to run smooth, don't use mods. I think we can all admit, I think we can all recognize it's when we bring all the mods into this game that things get a little problematic. What do we want to do here? Do we want to go, let's go back down this way. And I missed a little spot right there. So we'll do that, and we may have enough to get to the end of this length, but I think that will be the end of things, at least for this episode. And 29 minutes. Okay, so we're just about to run out of slurry. This is perfect. Right. I'll go refill, come back and finish this field, and next episode will be planting, drilling, I guess, and we'll be spreading the rest of our line. There you go. There you have it, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is Charwell. We'll see you next time. Take care now.